Hey everybody, I'm Jordan Lima from Lemur Studios and the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Project. I'm here with Chris Santucci, who really doesn't need an introduction if you're a filmmaker in town because he's been at this game for so long, doing almost everything you can imagine. And I worked with him when I was younger. I learned so much in an instant that I'm really just happy to be sitting here with him now after the 48-Hour Film Project. You've won it in the past. You had a great film this past year. Tell us about your film you just did.
One way it was really fun is I really wanted to do something different going into that year. That was my criteria. I just want to do something different. You know, I'm tired of dialogue. People talking. Okay, great. You know, we've seen that. We live it. I just wanted to do something different. So this was me being my kind of experimental, you know, and I'm not really into experimental film, but I wanted to do something that was just different in some way. So that gave me, I got a big charge out of that anyway.
So I found that when I rewatched it, I was getting more jokes, and I found a lot of jokes in the credits too. So was that intentional that there were a lot of jokes, or was I finding hidden meaning there?
It was intentional.
Okay. Yeah,
Everything you see was intentional, unless you saw something I wasn't aware of.
You got to watch the film. It'll be in the description. Was action adventure was your genre, and you sort of did the opposite.
It was a really low grade action adventure, which we at least had him in the beginning and the sort of setup for the whole thing. You know, firing a gun and jumping over a fence and running away and all that stuff. So it was the internalization of that action adventure, I guess, because there's all these personalities with him in his house, and they're just sort of there, but they all have different attitudes, you know, and he's sitting there, you know, and he's got something going on inside his head, you know, so it's just like, I love that. I mean, some of my favorite movie scenes were really kind of cerebral in that way, where you're watching people's facial expressions and you're understanding, you know, maybe what they're feeling and thinking without them actually saying, hey, I'm really pissed off at you, or I'm really glad, or, you know, or whatever, you know. I mean, I'd rather see that.
That takes a lot of the actors too, because I find that, you know, dialogue is tough. It's tough for actors that are inexperienced to do good dialogue, but I think it's nearly impossible for actors that are inexperienced to do good facial expressions and to really sell it like that without saying anything. I mean,
yeah.
Great job to your actors there.
Thanks.
You mentioned a small cast, and I love to work in terrible puns. The ant. You had an ant in there that people talked about the ant.
Did they?
Yeah, people were like, how do you think you got that ant to do that perfect walk? And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe just put it on the ground and it walked, I don't know. Now, this film I thought was just, my impression of it the whole time was that it was very deliberate and very calculated, and you've sort of confirmed that just now. You won this, maybe, was it 4 or 5 years ago?
I think so. Yeah.
That was a very different one. That was a quirky comedy.
Yeah.
I remember thinking we had a good shot and being utterly crushed when you guys beat us, but that's the nature of the game here, yeah.
Yeah, that was lightning struck for us that year. I mean, and the behind the scenes drama that led up to that win is it's just so comical. I mean, you could shoot a film just about how that came together, because we ended up having to show up the morning of the shoot day the next day and just have to improv like a lot of it. But we got it.
Outside the 48-Hour Film Project, Chris is just, I mean, every position in film you can imagine he's probably done. He's been an amazing cinematographer, and one of your more recent projects went viral with funny laugh vids.
Oh, yeah.
Just a quick thing about that before we go, that'll be in the description too.
We had no idea it was going to do that. We just thought, you know, we're trying to do the smart thing. We'll capitalize on the timing of the playoffs, and it's Bills related, and a lot of Bills fans here, blah, blah, blah. And then we were just like, we all sat, you know, and looked at our phones for the next 4 days watching the view count go up and not stop, you know, and we were just shocked. I mean, it was just like, we weren't prepared for that, you know. It was just like 500,000 plus in I think 3 or 4 or 5 days or something like that. That was a major success for us, and we knew that once that happened, it would be really hard to beat that.
That is a trick.
To surpass it or even come close to it.
We're going to have links to all the stuff that we're talking about in the description. And Chris, I'm just honored to be here with you today.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Check out those links, check out his films, and we'll see you August 10th through 12th at the 48-Hour Film Project.
Are you a local writer looking to make a script? Are you a local actor trying to get into the film scene? Are you a local director and you want to make a movie with writers and actors? Then make sure to sign up for the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Project, starting soon. Apply early because the early bird gets the worm, and the cheapest application price. So join now!